happy to be back. I am Zoe.
And I am Josh.
And
we are with the Josh and Zoe Traveling Show. Yay! All right, so we are going to put on a magnificent show for you guys. But first, we got to lay some ground rules. We need to go over what good audience members do. So, show me with your actions. What do good audience members do when they see something funny?
Come on, what are you
All right. What do good audience members do when they see something sad? What do good audience members do after they see something amazing? And most importantly, what do good audience members do when the actors are on stage performing and everyone's trying to listen? Yes, they stay quiet. That's right.
Listening ears. Yeah. Very good.
So, without any further ado, because you guys are going to be such great audience members, we would like to begin the Josh and Zoe Traveling Show!
This first story is a story from Germany about 3 friends. Once upon a time, there lived a bird, a mouse, and a sausage. And they all lived far off in the woods in a little cottage. And they were very happy because they each had a responsibility to the whole. Every morning, Bird, with his long wings, would fly out over the forest and spot spare sticks and fallen branches. And with his long beak, he would scoop down, pick them up, and take them home. Where Mouse, with his dexterity, would build a fire and start the stew. Sausage would wait. And wait. And wait. Until the moment was just right when he would jump into the stew and he would roll around to get his juices and spices inside. He would jump back out, they'd serve the stew, and they'd all have dinner. Well, they went on like this for many years, very happily, until one day, Bird was out spotting spare sticks and fallen branches when he saw a stranger off in the distance. A bird unlike any other bird he'd ever seen. This bird was tall and had a chest made of stone. He had orange and red feathers coming from his head, and he walked with a strut. The stranger spotted Bird, flew right up to him and said, "Who are you?" "Well, I'm Bird." "What do you do?" asked the stranger. Well, you see, I live with my 2 friends, and every day I gather the sticks, and Mouse, he makes the fire and starts the stew. Oh, and then Sausage, he jumps in the pot at the last minute and spices it up for all of us. And that's what I do. Sounds to me like you're doing an awful lot of work. Sounds to me like you need to shake it up. "Oh, what do you mean?" asked Bird. "Well, you have to go out and do all the heavy lifting while your friends just sit at home. Sounds to me like you're doing more work than them." And with that, the stranger flew off. He was never seen again. Bird couldn't quite shake what the stranger had told him, but he knew he had to do his job. So he picked up the fallen branches and the spare sticks, went home, and Mouse started a fire, made the stew, and Sausage jumped into the pot at the last minute and rolled around to get his juices inside. But that evening at dinner, Bird asked a question. Say, friends, what do you think if maybe tomorrow we do something different? Well, what do you mean, Bird? I mean, I always get the sticks, and Mouse, you always start the fire, and Sausage, you always spice it up. Maybe we should do something different. Shake it up a little bit. Maybe tomorrow, Sausage, maybe you should gather the wood, and I'll start the fire. And Mouse, maybe you try and spice up the stew, just to see what happens. Well, if you think that's best, said Mouse.
Okay.
They were all on board. And so the next morning, Sausage got prepared to go and get the wood. And so he rolled out of the cabin. But he didn't make it very far before a wolf began to smell him. The wolf found poor Sausage, and poor Sausage was no more. Well, Bird, he's tried to start the fire, and as soon as he did, his beautiful wings caught flame. And Mouse, he did jump into the stew, but he didn't spice it up. He merely boiled alive. And so the lesson is that sometimes our responsibility to the group may not be quite what we want it to be. But it is important for you to keep doing what you do best, because nobody can do what you do. The end.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Edna.
All right. So we just heard a story from Germany, and now we're going to hear a story from a country called Ghana. Ghana is a little country in West Africa. And in Ghana, there's a tribe of people called the Akan people. And the Akan people have stories about a very special spider named Anansi. Anansi is a trickster. He's always pulling pranks on people. And sometimes things go well for Anansi, and sometimes things don't go so well for Anansi. And you'll have to listen to the story to see which one happens in this one. Once upon a time, in a village, there was a witch with a very funny name. Her name was not Maleficent. Her name was not Galinda. Her name was not even Elphaba. Her name was Five. And everywhere that Five went, people would make fun of her. Hey, Five, how's it going, Five? Give me 5, 5. Ha! It was annoying. Well, one day, Five got fed up. So she walked into the middle of the village square and she declared, "Hear ye, hear ye! I am hereby placing a curse. Whoever says my name, Five, shall instantly disappear into thin air." Now, in this same village lived the spider Anansi. Now, Anansi was very small. He didn't have strong muscles to grow food and sell it in the marketplace. He had to figure out a different way to provide for himself. But Anansi always had one thing he could rely on, and that was his wit. So, Anansi came up with a plan to make the witch's curse work for him. He found a little spot midway between the village and the marketplace, and he dug 5 big, giant mounds. He made 5 mounds of dirt, and in those mounds of dirt, he planted African yellow yams. And every day, Anansi would come to the spot, and he would water the yams, and he would tend to the yams, until finally, after several weeks, they had grown big and tall. Anansi climbed up a tree, and he waited. It wasn't long before Elephant came walking down from the village, all walking towards the marketplace with a basket of fruit on his head. Yum da dum da dum da dum, yum da dum da dum da dum, yum da 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 da. Excuse me, elephant? Yes? What is it, Anansi? Well, elephant, you see, I have all these yam hills here, but I never went to school, and I don't know how to count. Would you please count these yam hills for me? Why, of course, Anansi. I'd be glad to. Let's see here. You have 1 yam hill. You have 2 yam hills. You have 3, 4, 5. Poof! And before Anansi's very eyes, Elephant disappeared into thin air. Anansi scrambled down the tree and began to eat the fruit. He ate till his belly was full. Then, when he was all done, he climbed back up the tree and waited once more. It wasn't long before Crocodile came walking down the street, going to sell his fruit at the marketplace. Excuse me, Crocodile. What is it, Anansi? Excuse me, Crocodile, would you mind? I need some help. You see, I never went to school and I never learned how to count. So I don't know how many yam hills I have. Would you please count them for me? Well, your parents should have taught you how to count, Anansi. But I'm feeling generous today. Let's see here. You have 1 yam hill. You have 2 yam hills. You have 3, 4, 5. Poof! And before Anansi's very eyes, Crocodile disappeared into thin air. Anansi clambered down the tree and ate the fruit. Till his belly was full. Again. Anansi climbed up the tree and waited. Now, word of Anansi's trick had started to spread throughout the village. So, when it was time for Mrs. Guinea Fowl to go to the market and sell her fruit, she was prepared. Excuse me, Miss Guinea Fowl. What is it, Anansi? Excuse me, Miss Guinea Fowl, but would you help me out? You see, I have all these yam hills, but I don't know how many I have. I never learned to count. Would you please count them for me? Well, of course, Anansi. You have 1 yam hill. You have 2 yam hills. You have 3, 4, and the one I'm standing on. What? That's not how you count. Count again. All right. You have 1 yam hill. You have 2 yam hills. You have 3, 4, and the one I'm standing on. That's not how you count at all, you silly old bird. The one you're standing on is not a word. Well, if you're so smart, why don't you come down and count them yourself? All right, I will.
Oh no. I know what happened.
Alright, so I have 1 Yam Hill. I have 2 Yam Hills.
Oh no.
I have 3, 4, 5, poof!
Oh no.
And before Guinea Fowl's very eyes, Anansi disappeared into thin air. And that's the end of that.
So those are just two of our favorite stories. We have millions of stories that we love and we share all the time. But now we get to introduce you to 2 very important people. These people are our best friends.
Yes.
I mean, we're best friends, but we also have best friends. So.
We're very excited for you to meet them, but guys, this is actually the very first time that they performed for a big group of kids. So,
They're a little nervous.
they're a little nervous. Can you make sure they feel welcome? Yeah! All right, can you say on the count of 3, come out, come out? 1, 2, 3. Come out! All right, let's see if they want to come out.
Hey guys, you ready?
Oh, I'm not sure. They look friendly.
I'm nervous. How
They
many are there?
It sounded like a lot.